Reunited WATCHTOWER is working on a live EP and a 40th anniversary reissue of Energetic Disassembly. Not soon enough. Good God. These exorbitant prices that they're putting on these CDs and vinyls of Energetic Disassembly is just gross. It should have been re-released properly a long time ago. In a new interview with Mark of 69 Faces of Rock, WATCHTOWER singer Jason McMaster spoke about the current status of the reunited legendary Texas progressive metal band. McMaster is joined in WATCHTOWER's 2024 lineup by bassist Doug Kaiser, guitarist Ron Szorbeck, and drummer Rick Kolaluka. Jason said, as transcribed by blabbermouth.net, quote, behind the scenes, we have been working on a 4-song video presentation that was filmed at the Keep It True Rising Festival last year, a year ago. Yep, that adds up. And we hope to release those 4 songs as a 12-inch EP like the old school days where you had Iron Maiden live at the Marquee, 2 or 3 songs on either side, still had a 33 RPM kind of thing, or 45 sometimes, but a 12-inch. I want to do that as a 12-inch live WATCHTOWER 4-song EP with a piggyback DVD. I'm for that. Whatever WATCHTOWER are going to put out, I'm gonna get my hands on. Dig WATCHTOWER. He continued, the 40th anniversary of WATCHTOWER's debut album, Energetic Disassembly, is coming soon. It's next year, the 40th anniversary, so we've been working on that. We've been remixing. We have the original tapes, which a lot of bands can't say that. 40 years later, we have the original tapes. Why haven't you put out versions of it? Jesus! And we are able to digitize those a few years back, and a friend of mine had remixed the whole record. Also, I will add the original recordings of The Eldritch and Instruments of Random Murder from WATCHTOWER's second album, 1989's Control and Resistance. With my vocals, the original versions of those were recorded at Cedar Creek Studio, where the bulk of Energetic Disassembly was also recorded in the same cutting floor, the same microphones, the same studio. Those were on the Energetic Master tapes, and we didn't even know that until we opened up those sessions. It was 2 sessions on 1 reel, so we've remixed and mastered all of that. And I will say this, there's a couple of Easter eggs, there's a couple of bonus things, like the intro to Argone Forest is completely different, and it was chopped from the record to make space for other songs on the vinyl. So that's going to be available now, as well as a couple of things that I'll keep under my hat. There's 2 little things that we recorded in the Energetic Disassembly sessions that were not on the record when it came out. So we're excited about that. We don't know exactly what label will take that, because a lot of labels just like to go, no, we want the original recordings, we want the original packing, we just want it to look and sound because it's a reissue, celebratory kind of thing. They want it to be legitimately, the purest. And I get that. I'm one of them. I came from that. But it's really hard for all of us in the band in the WATCHTOWER camp, and it's a small camp, to listen to the original mixes of Energetic Disassembly because there's so much reverb and so much high end, and it's just really hard for us to listen to. I'll give him that. I will give him that. No matter what recording I have of Energetic Disassembly, he's not wrong there. So to be able to go in and calm down those mixes a little bit, the EQ on it alone, the guitar tracks alone were just fairly noisy, and to be able to go in and take a lot of the effects off and actually hear every note cleaned up is exciting. And so that's what we're working on. Not a whole lot of things in the future for WATCHTOWER, just the one in January right now. And we don't know, but the focus would be that 1 show next year and then getting these other releases together, the live EP and the reissue of Energetic Disassembly. That's what we're working on. This past April, McMaster spoke to 69 Faces of Rock about how the WATCHTOWER reunion came about. Jason said it's been over a year ago, but a wonderful man by the name of Christian Larson, who is an organizer for a fantastic American Texan down in Houston, Texas, South Texas, organizer, co-creator for a festival that mirrors something as great as Keep It True in Germany called Hell's Heroes. And I believe that they're looking at about a decade of annual shows and Hell's Heroes Festival. So it's been around a little while. It was my first time playing here, and I can't think of a better way to be on their stages Then with Watchtower, because they had Solitude Eternus, they had Hellstar. There was a major Texas contingency for obvious reasons. But they also had Candlemass and Cauldron and Midnight, and it just goes and goes and goes. Last year they had Tom Warrior headline 2 out of maybe all 3 nights because Tom has Triptychon and Triumph of Death, etc. I think he did a Hellhammer set, and then he did a Celtic Frost set. So it's perfect because it brings all of Tom's projects as well as a resurgence of Doom and Thrash. And it was a perfect sort of baton to be passed to Watchtower. But Christian Larson, bless his soul, contacted me. We have a lot of mutual friends. He sent me an email, basically just something like, what would it take to get you guys to Reform to play Energetic Disassembly album in its entirety? And I have a bit of an opinion, and I hope it don't come off negatively when I say this, but I really don't like promoters suggesting or telling bands, whether it's me or not, telling the bands what songs they're going to play. I prefer it to be the band's choice for the band's reasons as to why they play or do not play material. But I kind of let that go quickly because it was important to me. First, to be invited. Second, I'll move on. These issues were immediately, it's like in my head I'm saying out loud, I haven't talked to those guys in a decade or more. The last time I performed with Watchtower would have been 20 years ago in 2004. In 2010, a show that I booked, Watchtower's later vocalist, Alan Tecchio, under my nose, was invited to replace me to play Keep It True Festival in 2010, which is a gig that I booked. And that's okay, whatever, no harm done. And it's a small family. Whoever's been in Watchtower, it's like, I don't know, it's not like the turnover of members in Watchtower has been about 10, 15 people. It's a small club, and I love Alan to death, so I was fine with it. But the point is that it's what got the ball rolling. And then almost immediately, maybe a week after it was announced that we were to play Hell's Heroes in Houston, which just happened a week ago, the phone started ringing, and Oliver from Keep It True was calling, and there were other smaller festivals and some stateside stuff. Anyway, so we played some warm-up shows. They went great. A lot of fun putting these songs back together with the guys. Watchtower played its first reunion concert with McMaster on September 8th, 2023 at Fitzgerald's Bar and Live Music Venue in San Antonio, Texas. This marked the progressive metal legend's first appearance with McMaster since the band's performance at Germany's Bang Your Head Festival in 2000 and Holland's Headway Festival in 2004. Jason confirmed his return to Watchtower in May 2023 during an appearance on the Decibel Geek podcast. He said at the time, it's weird playing songs very sporadically because I've done reunion things with Watchtower before, but the last one was 20 years ago. The last sort of reunion thing we did, we went to Amsterdam and played a festival over there. And we did a couple of kind of warm-up shows around Texas before we got on the plane kind of thing. And that was in 2004. So singing songs that you wrote 40 years ago, it's crazy to think about that. And have them be legit, play them like holy shit, and have all the guys look around at each other in rehearsals as old men and go, this shit is fucking hard to play. But that's why people like it. McMaster co-founded Watchtower in 1982, and he appeared on the band's 1985 debut album, Energetic Disassembly, before leaving 3 years later to focus on the Sleaze Rockers' Dangerous Toys. Jason was replaced in Watchtower by Tecchio, formerly of Hades, who sang on the group's second and most recent studio album, 1989's Control and Resistance. A reunion with McMaster followed in 1999 and lasted for several years, only for Jason to leave again. Tecchio returned for new material intended for Watchtower's since-scrapped third album, Mathematics, that resulted in the 2016 EP, Concepts of Math, Book 1. Jason previously stated about Watchtower's early musical direction, by the end of 1983, we had set an unbelievable, technical, fast, crazy, time-changing, sophisticated sound coming out of the mill we had created, making a planet that we didn't feel had been fully instigated. All of the lyrics were socially aware and some strange fascinations with nuclear power and some sort of Holocaust world that had been dreamt up by Billy White and bassist Doug Kaiser. They equally weirded each other out with their lyrics. I had no problem with the stuff they were pumping out. It was so tasteful, but yet had urgency and was frantic about the topics, mostly apocalyptic and socially chaotic on news issues. These were crazy words to sing over crazy changes. He added add no map. This wasn't rock and roll. I wrote all of the melodies. I used that word loosely for the song, and that was my contribution to the sound and timbre, even though later on a few critics would learn to hate the style of pissed-off Geddy Lee vocals. Seemed to be most on the death metal mags, where they would say they love the band, hate the singer. In April 2010, Watchtower played its first live show with Tecchio on vocals in some 20 years as co-headliners of Germany's Keep It True festival in Germany. Not trying to pronounce that. Anyway, pretty nice. Looking forward to a remastered version of Energetic Disassembly. That should be cool. I have seen Jason live with Dangerous Toys. I actually saw them promoting their first album, along with the band Bonham, which were promoting The Disregard of Timekeeping, and The Cult were promoting Sonic Temple. And his voice is very high, screechy, piercing live. I'll give him that. They opened up with Outlaw and... no, they opened up with 10 Boots of Stompin'. That's what it was. And it was just, it was a crazy show. But I am looking forward to this re-release. I hope it goes well. All right, that's it. Take care. November 6, 2024, in a new interview with Mark Kadziwala. Fuck that.